Music is, and always will be, an interesting topic to talk about. In My Little Pony in particular, the music conveys emotion well to its target audience, and in this video I'll attempt to break down why that is. Music is composed and written in scores to be broken down further into major and minor scales, each with its own nuances in the forms of modes. I'll get into more detail about that later. But in generality, I think that music is tightly bound to mathematics. For example, most of the major scales sound upbeat or happy because of the fact that major scale tones often have matching frequencies or matching intervals. The minor scales are often a bit off, and thus we get a different emotional response, either sad, melancholic, or remorseful. There are a few other theories. Certain modes and musical intervals elicit an emotional response more strongly than others. Specifically, children are attracted to the minor third interval, because it sounds like a mother calling to them. It could also be that we as humans have been culturally indoctrinated to feel sad when we hear minor scales and tones, just by virtue of recalling memory. In My Little Pony, Ingram often uses the E major key, a scale most often associated with hope, joy, or uplifting pride. A fine example of this is Equestria Girls. The song is about helping Twilight win the crown, and the music fits the theme. Equestria Girls is also a pop song, and this is done more or less in the frame of a pop song formula, an AABA format. Now, what I mean by the AABA format is, if you think of music, each section of music can be called a verse, and within each verse there are sentences. Music works much like poetry, and the AABA format is no different. Modern pop songs work off a 32-bar format, where they come back to those 4 lines over and over again, in different variations or lyrical phrasing. The 32-bar song is split into 4 musical sentences, each possibly having a different melody. What is more interesting is, if we take a look at Magical Mystery Cure, and the song selection therein, we get to see a wide variety of genre that come from that episode. We get a hopeful opening number, a dramatic melancholic song of remorse, and a ballad that tells a great story. I'll take the time to delve into those songs specifically in an upcoming video, so I'll just leave you with the examples for now. Generally though, genre variance in a set work or episode is risky as it disrupts the tone of the piece. The piece not being dynamic in its song selection can also be harmful as well. In Equestria Girls, all of the songs had the same kind of feel, a curious, hopeful emotion that permeated throughout the piece. Although the individual compositions were decent, they didn't add anything to themselves, and after the Equestria Girl songs, the rest of it was just kind of flat. In Mystery Cure, we had a wide variety of songs. However, this didn't disrupt the tone as much as it could have, as the episode was paced at a blistering pace. The music was able to fold on top of itself, letting the viewer to have an emotional roller coaster as we felt Twilight's highest and lowest points together. There's another aspect of music I haven't touched upon, and that's the backbeat, or drums. A good segue into this bit is to first explore the concept of binaural beats. Binaural beats are when the melody or harmony are not perfectly synchronized, causing a gap in the musical composition. This gives the semblance of the backbeat without a drum or bass actually being there to provide the beat. This technique is often used in hypnotic, calming, and subliminal music. There are reportedly certain songs that can make the brain experience a certain type of high, akin to THC, but I've yet to personally experience such a thing. A not-so-recent creepypasta involving Pokemon and Lavender Town explores this concept further in a sort of offbeat way. I'll provide the link to the binaural music if anyone is interested, but it's more so just a curious thing than actually true. In common media, however, beats are used for a much more straightforward purpose. They are to make the rhythm very clear to the listener, enabling the listener to bob, weave, and dance to the beat without much trouble. Good songs that do this in My Little Pony are Love's in Bloom, Equestria Girls, Time to Come Together, and The Type of Pony Every Pony Should Know, among others. This is in contrast to the classical compositions like the waltz, where the dancer is expected to know that the song is written in a specific time signature. Though usually, finding the beat isn't a terribly hard task and most people pick it up unconsciously. Other songs in My Little Pony are very catchy, like Winter Wrap-Up and True True Friend. What makes a song catchy? Well, different songs are catchy for different people. This is due to personal reasons as I have mentioned above. Maybe an individual resonates more with one major or minor key than another. But a more universal commonality is that catchy songs use repetition to their advantage. They may not use the same couple notes over and over, but they may use the same interval of notes. This is clear in Winter Wrap-Up. The lines, "The time has come to welcome spring," use the same intervals twice, ingraining the musical sentence in the listener's mind. If you continue listening to the song and listen for these same intervals, you'll find that they occur quite often. Thanks for watching, and please remember to like, sub, and share. All that. Things. Or something. It's not like I look at these things or anything. Don't judge me.